Hello, Reef DVM's coming here to at you today with replacing the farm's old culverts. They were put in about 1954 when the original driveway was put in. We got a couple of them, towed them behind the gator down the old farm road to get them to where we needed to be. Yeah, they got a little muddy because the ground's a little muddy at the moment. But one culvert's right under that cone. That cone is sitting right over a hole that was accidentally punched in it this summer. The other culvert is sitting up there by the backhoe. Both culverts are starting to collapse on the top, and the bottoms are pretty rotten out of them. This culvert especially has lost a lot of the bottom. The old steel is just worn away. Once they get to be 50 years old, you can see the collapse there. There's a kind of corner missing out of that one end of that one. Basically, we got a backhoe in here and just started kind of ripping up the dirt and then digging into the gravel. We really tried to kind of clean out the ends, pull the old gutters out, and even dig them a little deeper so that we could put more fill over the top. Nice hole, as you can see there. That was not actually put in by the backhoe. That was actually cut in by the winter snowplow. We actually hooked that with one of the feet of the snowplow and ripped that open this winter. So basically, again, we just tried to save as much gravel as we could, but couldn't save enough. Had to bring some backfill in. But we scraped off the top. You can see the fabric in there. That's actually the geo fabric that we had laid a few years back when we recoated the driveway with fresh class 5. So that got peeled up too, which is a little unfortunate, but it's only wrecked at the culvert locations, which, I mean, what are you going to do when you have to dig out a culvert? This project overall wasn't too bad. About $200-300 for the backhoe to come in for about an hour, and then I think we spent about $800 on the culverts minus a little shipping and so forth. See, here we are ripping this thing out. It actually came out really easy, and as you can see here, once we get this thing lifted, first of all, it's not exactly perfectly straight anymore, even though the backhoe has banged it up a little bit trying to get it out, but it also is really, really eating away on the bottom. I mean, look at this thing comes out. I mean, look at the holes in the bottom of this thing. I mean, oh, the water over time just, eventually just chews the steel to pieces. So it's good to get these things out before we accidentally collapse through them. Don't want to be taking the big heavy combines and the trucks full of grain and stuff down here and all of a sudden punch through one of these. Wrecks a tire, bends a rim, just creates a whole headache. Again, these culvert's over 50 years old, so I mean, what more can you say? These look like they were just a straight, culvert. There was no spiral to them. The ones we actually put in are steel galvanized spiral culverts. You can have culverts that are made with just, if you want to think about them, circle ridges, or you can have them that have like kind of a screw pattern or a spiral pattern to the ridges. We did the ones with the spiral pattern. I guess that's just personal preference. Either one would be quite strong enough for basically a utility road like this. That wire you see in there was an old, if you saw that wire in that shot, was an old phone line wire that we no longer use on the farm. We don't run phones up to the barns anymore, so not a big deal. So this is the first culvert of the two we put in. As you can see, we just dumped it in the hole. It's sitting in about a foot and a half deep, depending upon how you look at it, and then we started backfilling it. As you can see, the end of it here is pretty cleared out. We actually clear it out even a little more. We clean out that side a little bit more. That 20-foot spiral galvanized culvert is in, and it's basically fill it back up, pack it back down, dump some more fill on top, and then bring the skid steer over the top, kind of flatten and grade it out. It really turned out pretty good for kind of a one-day project. It didn't go too bad, all things considered. So you can see there's some of that black fabric in there. We just kind of pushed it back in. It's by no means working like it should over the culverts because it's kind of been torn up, but it'll be good enough to at least, you know, fill a hole and probably keep some of the soil from sifting down around the culvert too much. Again, the cost of the culvert about $800, and I think we paid, like I said, 30-40 to get them shipped up. And then with the machine and everything else, probably put about $1,000 into the old driveway to get it fixed. But it's well worth it, both for the safety factor and the long range planning. This is the second culvert area. So you can see the ends of this thing were just caked full of debris. water had just eventually settled and filtered in, and plants had grown and vegetation. So we really just spent like the first 10 minutes kind of digging out the culvert ends again and getting it so the culverts actually flowed back into the ditches, which are about maybe 10-15 feet here from the road. Once we got that all opened up, obviously the new culverts will work better for quite a while before the silt, the sediment, and the vegetation grows back in. But making a nice big deep hole on each end of these will probably help us quite a bit. So again, same process. We kind of peeled the dirt off and opened up the ends, and then again peeled back the road, opened up the geotextile fabric, and ripped out that old culvert. The second culvert here was in a little better shape. I don't think it got quite the water volume, especially the standing water that the other one did. Being the ground here is probably 6 to 8 inches higher than the other one, I think that probably really helped with its longevity. However, this one too definitely had some big dents and some signs of collapse on the one end, which is not a very good thing to have, especially for the long term. Culverts, I'm told, nowadays can be also, plastic or like PVC type material. I had that option when buying these to buy that. I don't know. I just worry about the strength with them. They say all the strength is based on how you put the gravel in over the top, but I still wanted to make sure that we, covered our bases and had the strongest culvert for the farm we could. So I wasn't going to take that risk, so that's why I went with the metal ones. But I was given at least the option at the culvert manufacturer of putting in the plastic ones, which obviously never rust. So here it is being lifted out. Again, this is another metal one. It's got some dents on the end. There on the far left end, you can see one of the dents. You'll see one of the dents when we kind of push it and rotate it around. You can see there's some rusted out end there. Some of the end was actually literally gone. Again, probably because it's been sitting in water. But we got these culverts moved, got them pushed out of the way. We'll deal with hauling them out of here a little later when we get one of the grain trucks to be able to pick it up and take it into town for us where they can get rid of it. As you can see, there's some of the bigger dents on the side. Here's one of them right there. We didn't make that dent with the backhoe. That dent was in it from it crushing in. Here's us trying to roll in the new spiral one. Just kind of pushed it over and we lined it up the best we could and walked it down the driveway until she fell in the hole. Really, again, it's kind of a simple process when you got some good machinery like this to put it in with. Then you take the backhoe and we filled it again. Pretty much the exact same as we did on the other one. We had to use about 2 loads of class 5. There's no way around it. You lose some fill when you open these things up. You make some damage to the gravel bed, and it just takes some material to fill it back in. So the minute we got these filled in enough, we got 2 12-yard loads of class 5 gravel and filled it up the best we could. Got it as level as we could, and try to make the driveway as cosmetically nice as we can. We figure this winter these areas will probably sink anywhere between 1 inch and 2 inches. So no matter how hard you pack them, soil still compacts. But this is the culvert area. We've got it fixed. Both of the two 1954 culverts have now been replaced in 2013. It looks great here after we dragged it and smoothed it all out. This is all in the same day, folks. So it's one-day project here on the farm, but a good project to get done. Should last us a long time on the old farm road. Thanks for watching. Please like or subscribe to the channel to show support for our videos, and we'll continue to put out great country videos like this. Thank you, folks.